Today, my daughter Natalie and I are on a bicycle patrol. Why don't you follow us? We're leaving my home, the apartment building to the right, and we'll end our patrol at Natalie's house in a nearby neighborhood. We head down Deloasis Street. Natalie and I are wearing our Vélo service yellow jerseys, and we're carrying with us a toolkit, a first aid kit, and a pile of maps of the region's trails and pathways. Vélo Service is an organization of cyclists who volunteer to patrol the Gatineau City and Gatineau Park trails. It also provides a service to the town of Wakefield to patrol the Chemin de la Rivière, which is closed to automobile traffic to allow a traffic-free ride for cyclists on Sunday mornings. The main duties of the Vélo Service patrollers are to assist cyclists who are in need of help. It could be to help them inflate a soft tire, or give them directions if they have trouble finding their way, or providing first aid in case of accident. Here we turn onto La Gap Boulevard, heading west. We patrollers are trained to provide first aid in case we happen upon an accident. Our little first aid kit has the basics for treating most common emergencies while waiting for the arrival of an ambulance if that is needed. In a few specific places, the city of Gatineau has placed a defibrillator, which we are trained to use in case of cardiac arrest. Now we stop to show you the best ice cream parlor in town, Chocolat Favori. But unfortunately, it doesn't open until later. Now we're riding with the De la Gap Boulevard on the right and the Rapibus corridor on the left. We're soon going to reach the Gatineau Smart Centers, a shopping center of big box stores. This map shows the route that we've taken so far. Here we will find a Starbucks, and Natalie suggests that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We don't get paid for our services, so we can allow ourselves a stop for coffee. Now we're heading west towards the Gatineau River. What I haven't mentioned yet is that all the patrollers are obligated to take a first aid course before the start of every season. The costs for the volunteers' training and supplies depend on subsidies from the City of Gatineau, the National Capital Commission, and the town of Wakefield. Now we're passing underneath the bus route. I'll slow down here briefly to show you the Gatineau River looking upstream. We follow the Gatineau River pathway in an upstream direction. So far there's been very little bicycle traffic because it's still early in the morning. This makes our work very easy. It's true that we don't get paid for our work, but there are compensations. There are several activities where we get to make friends with other members of the patrol, and at the end of each season, the organization invites us to a very nice banquet. This tunnel passes under St. Joseph Boulevard. We're now on Limy Creek Pathway. It may look as if we're in the wilderness, but we're right in the city. Today, all of our course will be within the city. We will reserve the Gatineau Park for another time. We arrive at Cité des Jeunes Boulevard, and a polite driver lets us cross to the other side. We continue on Limy Creek Pathway for a while. The first year we joined the patrol, on our second outing, We had what we might call beginner's bad luck. A severe storm hit us when we were riding on Voyageurs Parkway. At the bottom of a hill in a curve, a cyclist was sprawled out in the middle of the path, and another cyclist had just phoned 911. As we waited for the ambulance, we donned our gloves, and after checking that the guy had no broken bones or serious injuries, we helped him sit down, and Nat cleaned some of his wounds and applied bandages. She was wearing shorts and got some of the guy's blood on her leg. She wiped it off and disinfected her leg as a precaution. After the ambulance had left with the victim, we attended to handing his broken bicycle over to the people he lived with. It turned out that he lived in a recovery home for HIV patients, which was quite a concern for us. We were assured that it's almost impossible to acquire HIV through blood on healthy skin, but we nevertheless got tested then and again 3 months later, and all is well that ends well. It turned out that we were free of infection. And we continue on Cité des Jeunes Boulevard on its dedicated bicycle lane. We are now on Fairy Lake Pathway. We're now heading east on Des Allumetières. Allumetière is a French word which means woman who makes matches. This part of Gatineau used to be called Hull, and the main industry was E.B. Eddy Pulp and Paper Company. One of the company's products was wooden matches. The matches were made by hand by women from scraps of wood. The word allumetière derives from the word for match, allumette, which in turn comes from the word allumer, which means to light. We're now crossing St. Joseph Boulevard, several kilometers from where we were earlier. This is Brewery Creek Pathway, which runs along a creek called, guess what? Brewery Creek. The creek gets its water from the Ottawa River upstream from Chaudière Falls. It runs through a good part of the Old Hull and rejoins the Ottawa River downstream at Fournier Boulevard. We're still on Brewery Creek, and now we have Highway 50 above us. Natalie notices that the new growth of the shrubs is overtaking the pathway, so she stops to take a picture, and at the end of our patrol she'll submit this picture to Vélo service along with a description of the issue in the expectation that the NCC will send a maintenance team to trim the excessive vegetation. Through the fence we can see the ancient quarry, which has been made into a navigable body of water where the hotel and casino have installed a boating dock. We stop on the east side of Lake Lemay to take a look. The tall building on the other side is the Hilton Hotel and the casino. We are now at the Lake Lemay beach. The pavilion is to our right, and the beach is at the left. It's going to be a hot day, and already, even this early at 11 o'clock in the morning, there are a lot of people enjoying the water. We're now crossing the little bridge that spans the inlet that feeds the lake from Gatineau River. Customers of the casino can use this waterway to moor at the hotel's boat docks, after having navigated to the other side of the lake. At the other end of this short waterway is the Gatineau River. Here we see the entrance to the lake inlet, where boaters must register before entering. We continue our way on the Gatineau River pathway. Natalie spots an unusual sight for this area. We stop to admire large birds that look like vultures.
Un gros vautour.
Oh wow!
Il était perché juste là. Il était gros comme ça. Avec sa tête rouge. Regarde, il est là-bas, là.
Oui, je le vois, là. Ah, il y en a une autre, là. Ah,
Oui.
plein les airs, là. Ah oui.
Ça, c'est une grosse. Lui, là, c'est un gros vautour, là.
Oui.
Ah, il était mèche. Ah, regardez, regarde.
C'est gracieux dans les airs, hein?
Ça plane bien, hein? Ça a l'air à bien aller, leur affaire.
Oui, presque aucun effort.
Oui.
This map shows the spot where we sighted the birds. Now we cross the Rapibus Bridge on our way back home. The Smart Center to the right again. We cross La Gap Boulevard to reach Emile Nelligan Park. At some point further back, my GoPro must have been hit by a branch because it's been out of alignment. It's showing too much sky. An unintended benefit of this misaligned camera is the wonderful variety of cirrus clouds that we've seen today in this video. At present, the clouds are very thin and wispy, and we can see contrails crisscrossing the strands of clouds. It's really fascinating to watch the various cloud formations that Mother Nature presents us. We're now following Nelligan Street on the way to Natalie's place. I'll bet you're looking at the clouds now, are you? At last, we're in Natalie's neighborhood. We turn onto her street. And we arrive at her house. And this is where we part company.
We're here. I'm Teddy.
This map shows the final section of our outing from the spot where we saw the birds. This table shows the summary of our patrol for the day. If you'd like to buy one of my books on sailing, or if you'd like information about electric bikes or bicycle campers, see my website www.robertberrio.com. Thank you for having joined us.